Isn't it crazy how we made fun of JJ at the beginning of the year when we were doing our New Year's resolutions?
When he said he just wanted to be alive?
Yeah.
I mean,
my New Year's resolution was just to stay living.
To make it to 2021 was literally his.
Not as a joke.
No, that was his real
Everyone
deal. The
laughed
only
at
New
me.
Year's resolution.
Dead
And now
ass
we're all in the
serious.
same boat.
now, yeah,
Every time we wake up, we're just like another one. Thank God we made it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. Thank God for another day.
We still have 6 months.
Don't.
It's only the first.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the odds were pretty good that you were going to make that.
What would you put them at now?
Slightly above 30%.
What?
Bro, like
Damn, I
every
even had a
time,
higher percentage than
every
that.
time we think it's done, something new
else.
comes
Dude.
out.
Every day.
Did you see the picture over in Asia
Indonesia.
with the UFO? That looks straight out of Independence Day.
And that's the thing. Now we're just believing everything because now
Yes.
there's nothing too sci-fi for this year.
Honestly, if you found out that aliens were coming down tomorrow,
Yeah,
I'd be like,
that's about right.
Yeah, it's on par.
Yeah.
It's about time. They're giving us a good run.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm ready to go anyways, honestly.
James did the afternoon show today. Big time.
Okay, so on Friday night, we were talking about James, how he was going to work the Frangie show all week. It was a big deal. Lots of new listeners coming in. And he was going to, make a great first impression and come in wearing a suit and tie. And that's not what he was wearing.
Well, one, my Yeezys came in.
Well, he didn't really.
Two,
he didn't do either of those.
Two, it's been a little bit rough, man. Like I didn't feel like putting on the suit, man. Like the suit I was gonna wear would have looked too. The only one that's clean, by the way, is my black suit. And I have my white shirt and I have a black bow tie. And I didn't want to come in here looking like I was on one of the Fruit of Islam. After everything that was going
today.
on,
Not a good
it was some pretty, some heavy topics that we had to cover.
And then we walk in, and then he didn't even do the first of those. The text line's jammed up with some dude talking about how trash James is.
I know, man. It's like,
hey, shouldn't he shouldn't he be on the night show, much less the Frangie show?
Like,
oh, I gotta read this.
My man said, I didn't even
what did
talk
you
about
talk
my
about
political.
today?
I said I was. Like the thing is, I said I was and I've said this on the show before. I'm actually a black Republican, and but I talked about a little bit how we talked about and it was cool because Matt was there, he listened, Lauren, they were very we came up with tried to shed light, and my man just ripped me, and he said it wasn't about sports. Like the entire sports world hasn't been talking about this all weekend, so I don't know what bunker or hole some of you guys live in, but it's.
Oh, I got it.
It's very much so, man. My man gave me
this guy James that y'all have on your afternoon show of the Frangie show. Y'all need to kick him to the curb, man. By the way, no periods or anything in this. It's so washed up. Yeah, he doesn't spell correctly. It's so washed up running back in his fullback, sir.
Yeah,
and his political views and how he grew up and what neighborhood he lives in and all that stuff, man. That just ain't nothing to do with sports. Get rid of that guy. He shouldn't even be on A-night shows.
Yeah, let's get rid of the guy who lived the life and played. Even if he's washed up, let's live with the guy who actually I probably watched on TV and cheered for. Let's get rid of that guy.
Hey,
because he's black. That's what he wanted. He's black.
I would have loved him to say that.
Hey,
black.
Can we assume
at the very end? And he's black.
Can we assume
disgraceful
that the guy was doing the talk to text since he didn't have any periods in it?
Maybe.
Possibly,
Wait, was it Hacker?
Come on, man.
Don't do that.
Don't do that to my dog, man.
Hacker uses that.
He does.
The talk to text. I can't.
I love you very, very much. Period.
I can't do it. At least Hacker says
he does do the period. Yeah.
Just to let her know.
I've been using the talk to text.
Oh yeah, that's how we know it's not him because Hack says
right.
I've been using this when you have Apple TV, you can just talk.
Right, I do that. Well, yeah.
I was like, wow, this is pretty impressive, man. Like this is you say capital and it'll give you a capital J. It's like, wow,
I've never tried that.
I didn't know you could do all that.
I now have 3 Apple TVs. I'm all the way addicted. Got to have it in every room in the facility.
Apple sheet.
You just can you ever just do something and not overdo it?
No, that's That's a big problem I have in life.
Addictive personality.
I overdo everything, and I hate that about myself.
I mean, like, one Apple TV might have. I mean, two. I get it. There's like, but you can get a Roku and like get the same results.
I can't cast it from my phone as easy.
That's such an humble thing to say, by the way.
But like TV,
like the worst thing about myself is I do everything too good.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I do everything to an extreme,
to the max.
It's not. It's like I'm not talking about only good things. Yeah,
heroin.
Like you want to know why I've never used an illegal drug? That's why. You give me one illegal drug, and I'm like,
living under a bridge.
Yeah, where's Denny at?
I'm not just sticking with the weed.
Yeah,
that's not strong enough.
There is so much more out there.
It's a gateway drug. I need other things.
Like I don't even need weed to be a gateway. It's like I think about it, it's already like, okay, what's next?
You said you were thinking about, during the quarantine that you might take a puff. You're like, hey, if I'm gonna do it one time in my life, might as well be now. I'm assuming you never did.
I never said a puff.
Well, whatever.
Yeah. No, I never did.
Oh.
I have not ruled it out, however.
Quarantine's over, dude.
Yeah, maybe for you. I'm thinking about going back in. So we obviously are going to talk about everything that's happening. It's crazy. It's like I tweeted this the other day because I don't even know what to say. There's very few times that I've been speechless in my life. You and I talked about this earlier. James and I talked for the first time in like 3 days. Since we left Friday this morning. And it's like, I am literally speechless about all this stuff. I almost feel like anything that I say, there's not enough emphasis behind it. Like, I don't know. I know what I believe. I don't know how to say it. Does that make sense?
I get it. I'm right. Be honest with you. I'm right there with you.
And it's not even that I'm worried about offending or hurting people. And I think a lot of people are in the same boat. I will honestly admit that I have done, I wouldn't say a 180 because I've always been, not always, but in the last decade, been fairly progressive on a lot of issues.
Right.
But on the specific issue of race relations, like, man, I've changed a lot in the last 10 years. And a lot of the things that I thought I believed, even as the Kaepernick stuff was happening, I don't think I do anymore. And it's hard to actually verbalize that.
Right.
And to be clear, I've always been on the Kaepernick thing. I was always like, this isn't my battle. I hate that he did it during the national anthem. I really, more than that, just hated like the socks he wore, just some of the antagonistic stuff. But now looking back, like, okay, I get it. And I'm willing to admit that. I'm willing to admit that I hate to say anything in this present time for the fear of 5 years from now, it's not going to be even true then as to my level of disgust of what I'm seeing going on.
Right. I mean, I got to tell people, like, it was a bunch of range because a conversation that we had about a young man that we know kind of stuck with me. And, unfortunately that was his first time, like I think you said, ever experienced or something. And then I thought about
you talking about what happened Thursday night?
Yeah.
Let me just, I'm going to interrupt you so I can catch people.
Okay.
I'm not going to say who it was, but one of my quarterbacks got pulled over. And literally there were 5 cop cars there for no reason within 10 minutes.
So we're assuming it wasn't Mac Jones.
It wasn't Mac Jones. No, it was, and it wasn't Duval County, by the way. And it wasn't St. Johns County. But officer stuck his nose into the window, said, I smell weed, I smell marijuana. Basically made him get out the car, search the car, all that kind of stuff. Next thing you know, the kid's sitting out there and there's multiple cop cars behind him. And he told me the story, and it literally got my blood boiling to the point where I said, listen, if that ever happens again, you grab your phone and you call me. And it's not like I'm going to do anything, but I'm going to call people.
Right.
Like you're a 19-year-old kid who is a big kid. Like don't go down that road if you're not ready for it.
Right. And so like that, and I have in similar situations, and but bigger than that is that you see another guy, and it slowed down, and you hear the audio, and I was telling people, when you're in pain as a child, and you don't ever call for your father, you call for your mom, and to see a strong man revert back to, um, his mother passed, and you're like, damn, that could have been, you don't you hope it doesn't happen, but you're like, man, what that could have been me. That kind of just shook you a little bit. But then you saw some good things, and you saw people getting together, and you saw some people taking advantage of stuff and destroying property, and you have to you find yourself having to, because people are deflecting from what the root was, and are, and rightfully, and I get it, like we're having to explain what the effect was. And you see a lot of athletes kind of coming in, and you see, for the first time, you see a lot of people actually joining in and saying, you know having an opinion on it. And I noticed the silence, and then I also noticed the division, and it gets you thinking, because it's not about me. I mean, I put this on Twitter, so I mean, I'm willing to say this. I've never had a fear of death. Like, I know I'm going to die one day. What I've had a fear of is how I'm going to die. Like, I want to, for call it crazy, I want to die in like some extraordinary measure, so that when my son gives my eulogy, or of old age, but like when my son gives my eulogy, he'd be like, my father lived. What I don't want to die from is a situation where there was a misunderstanding because somebody's afraid of me without giving me the benefit of the doubt. And then when you add the Central Park thing, and then you add some of the other stuff up, and like even with me and Matt, like Matt put out a great tweet of a guy who Matt Hayes,
Okay.
of a guy who was like saying, I would hate to be in the situation where you're afraid of me. And I was like, but I'm tired. Why do I have to be extraordinary to like get the benefit of the doubt? And I give people the benefit of the doubt that I willingly give people. I don't go around even cops or regular people, I don't go around thinking that you mean harm for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get that. I see people, like, it was funny. Like, you see a lady clutch her purse on a elevator. It's just like, me, how my mind works. I'm like, what's I was like, lady, what are you doing? Like, if you really believe I'm going to rob you, you ain't got nowhere to go. It means you believe I'm extra fast and I'm super strong, and you clutching your purse ain't going to do a damn thing for you. But me knowing, why am I thinking that, and why does she think that, when I probably got more money in my back pocket than she's got in her purse? So I mean, it's a thing where you think you're past it, and we're not. But bigger. Then I started thinking, like, I was smoking, and that's where I do my best thinking. Smoking cigars, not on the JJ. How do we get past this? Like, what? And I don't want to rush it. I'm not telling nobody to not feel nothing, because I get it. But what I'm saying is, how do we prevent this thing from burning forever? Like, because there are things that could happen that could make this worse, and I pray that it doesn't. But like, what do we do?
Well, I think the first thing that people need to realize is you can be angry, upset, and offended by both.
Right.
By both what happened to Mr. Floyd and what is going on riot-wise and all that. Like, it is fair and completely normal to be angry at both of those things. Correct?
Facts.
It's just like you mentioned this today. Both of us know a lot of officers.
Yes.
And we have a lot of officers who are good friends of ours, like very good friends of ours.
Mm-hmm.
I respect the hell out of what they do. And I will readily admit I am way too much of a wimp to ever do what they do. I can do that and at the same time ask questions.
Facts.
Right? And I think, like, that's the first thing, is it doesn't have to be politicized. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't even have to be along racial lines. I don't think. You can accomplish all of this. And until people realize that, James, unfortunately, I don't think anything's going to happen.
Gotta be transparent. If I just use it so we can humanize it or make it more local. Like, if that was JJ, I'd be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be hurt.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Like, I saw a man die. Like, and no matter how you say the psychology of it, we saw it.
Man get killed.
Yeah, excuse me. I apologize. You're right. A man get killed, and not bigger. And what the problem is, there was no form of real accountability. Like, just take him in. Like, if I do something, you arrest me, I go to jail, I get questioned, I bring my lawyer, we go through the process. There's no process, there's no uniformity, there's nothing. And that's where like it's odd that, I'm kind of inside I'm happy, but I also don't like people losing their job. But with Jason Whitlock challenged LeBron for what he said, I get it. But it's like at a certain point you feel like there's no amount of money.
Wait, with this you talking about something new?
No.
Oh,
From
okay.
way back when LeBron talked
Gotcha, okay.
about I believe the situation that happened about an hour north of here. And yes, we can say that, but like I said earlier, I guess it offended the texter. I've been detained in front of my house when I first moved there, and that's not cool. Like, somebody not believing, like, how infuriating and how hard it is to try to, like, they won't let you reach for your ID, which could solve their whole problem, but they don't believe you live there. So I mean, you have those things, and like, so I got what LeBron wasn't saying, like, I'm in immediate danger. But he's like, what if my son, his sons are getting recognized more, but if nobody recognized, but I got what he was saying, because what if Trey or Kai were running in the neighborhood and somebody doesn't recognize them?
Well,
They might
also, like,
recognize
when
their
your
dad.
kids even see that happen in front of your house, it's like,
Well, I
they're
was
going to
lucky.
instantly be
Yeah.
programmed to be like,
Yeah.
well, who the hell are these
I'm lucky
people?
I didn't have boys. I am a boys then. But when my 7-year-old asked me my soon-to-be 7-year-old asked me the question that he asked, and it was hard. But the cool thing is, he went and I got a chance, and I posted it on my social media. I got a chance to see him talk with his god brother, who's white, and they were talking like old men for 45 minutes on FaceTime. It was great, warm my heart. But those are the things that like, what do we have to do to get people to not be so afraid?
That's the thing that got to me, was thinking about the difference in conversations that I have with my sons and that you have to have with your sons. And I use you, but even, the dads that I train, it's the difference in conversation is what, like, tugged at me really after we got off the air Friday night. We didn't talk about this at all Friday.
Right.
For multiple reasons, but it's just like, I don't know. I guess seeing all of it, it was just like, man, it is, as much as we are together as a country, like it is two different worlds.
Yeah, and some of it I get. Like, I don't like when, like, people, why can't we just all, like, I don't see color. I want to not attack it, but I don't have a problem with that.
Mhm.
Like I just ate some Italian food.
Mhm.
If I didn't see color, I wouldn't have been able to eat this delicious spaghetti and meatballs.
You wouldn't have called it
Or I wouldn't have called it Italian. I like Chinese food. I ate Chinese
We are
food during
different.
COVID.
As cultures, as races, we're different.
E
That's
pluribus
a
unum.
fact.
E pluribus unum is on our seal. Out of many, we are one. Our little small, and people always say, like, James, why you got to make? I do it on purpose. Like, when I say, hey, this is how I grew up, and the text line or tweet, like, I do that too. Cool. Now we find something, we find commonality, and if nothing else, we can connect with that.
The cultures are what's dope about all
Yeah,
of it.
I mean, like, the thing is,
We talk about that all the time on the show.
I love it. Like, I don't understand some of them. Like, got Indian neighbors. I'm still waiting to get an invite. I might go knock on somebody's door now because I don't know how long I got. But I want
Or how long some people wash. Go without.
Yeah,
washing.
like that. It was
important.
That was funny, but I saw somebody post it, and I saw a lot. I was curious, and our curiosity doesn't have to turn into fear. It can turn into education, and then you get a chance to learn something, and you might rock with it. That's what makes music dope. That's what makes sports dope, is that your heroes don't necessarily look like you. And we have that, and we do go into a great direction, but then we get pulled back by stupidity and ignorance in general. And it's such a great country to live in, but at the same time, when you say you want it to be better, it doesn't mean that it's not good. It just means you expect more. And that it isn't, like, it's just like if your loved one, like if you're white. I heard Michael Cheap said this. He was like, What if you're like all lives matter? Cool, not a problem. It's true. But what if Angie went up to you, Denny, and said, "Denny, do you love me, baby? I love everybody. All love matters." You would be hurt, but our country is our country, and it's just nothing wrong with expecting the ability to be American. Because I always say I've never felt more American than when I'm abroad. When I'm abroad, we all like they hear our accent, they see the way we walk, the way we talk, they know you're American, no matter what your skin tone is. And then that's when I find people I can vibe with and do a little bit more.
I want to get to this text on the text line, and then we're going to have to take a break and bring on Dr. Swanson. And then after Dr. Swanson, I really want to get into what social responsibility do players have? Not option, but what is their responsibility as athletes and entertainers? I want to get into that. Before I do that, listen, we got this text from 300.
Uh-oh.
Why is there never, and I say it like that because he, all caps, a discussion when a black kills a cop happens 18 times more? I'm going to say this like this. You can have that discussion, but why have it now? Why didn't that come up
before this
3 weeks ago?
And that's terrible. It shouldn't happen. But you know what happens? Prosecution. You go through the steps. The person gets handcuffed. They go to trial. They get a hefty sentence. The justice system gets an opportunity to work. Mm-hmm. It's the same conversation when people say, "What about Chicago?" Well, what about it? Here's the thing.
And it's also not about one person being killed by the police. It's about rampant harassment.
Well, that's what he's saying. This happens 18 times more.
It's about a choice. It's about a choice, and it's a great choice, and it's an honorable profession that I believe they should get paid more, and that they should get more certifications. They should, there's some things that we should do to be able to help them. But I made a choice to be a sports journalist. I made a choice to be a football player. I knew the facts and I knew the things that were going into it. They made a choice and they took an oath to protect and to serve. So it is a big difference. So I get it when people say criminals kill. Mm-hmm. Criminals, last time I checked, don't take oaths to protect and to serve. And just like the military takes an oath to defend our nation. And I know a lot of military people married to one. When she deployed, she's deployed twice. When she went over to the dirt, she told me this: if in a firefight, if we don't shoot in the right direction, and we mess around and we kill the wrong person, we go to Fort Leavenworth. She was younger then. So if 18 to 22-year-olds, a little bit older, are the ones who make a majority of the infantry, can go in a real war zone, it can make choices to not go to Fort Leavenworth because they know that's hanging over them. I expect the same thing should be happening a little bit more for citizens in America. Mm-hmm. If I commit a crime, take me to jail. Mm-hmm. Don't be Judge Dredd. Don't be judge and jury right there. I don't want to be executed. I want to be able to go through the process, get my lawyers, and then see how the things work. I believe he did it. But if he goes through the process and he's acquitted, it happens. But I think all of this could have been avoided had they just taken the 4 officers through the process. That's just my opinion.
Right. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll get Dr. Swanson on, talk a little bit of medicine. And then I do want to spend some time on this: what social responsibility do players, athletes, entertainers, whatever it is, what do they have as a responsibility? We'll do that coming up next.
Long ago, sports radio was just a dream. But one brave station dared to make the leap into sports outer space. 1010XL.
One small step for man.
Out of this world.
se-ortho.com, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. That's where you need to go if you've got an injury of any type of ortho. Like, it's silly to walk around with a hurt knee or a hurt shoulder or hurt ankle or needing physical therapy when you can go to one of many locations near you and go see the best of the best at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. They're all around. They've got you covered. They've even still got their urgent ortho walk-in availability, just in case you don't want to go to the emergency room. That's Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, se-ortho.com.
This is Greg Huntington with Advanced Disposal. In these uncertain times, there's one thing you can be certain of. Advanced Disposal and companies like us are committed to continuing to provide critical environmental services that you depend on. When you see your local garbage person collecting waste in your neighborhood or place of business, then give them a wave and a thumbs up. Through these challenging times, Advanced Disposal is still hiring drivers and essential staff throughout Northeast Florida. So please go to advanceddisposal.com/careers and join our team today. Be safe.
The Edge Group wants to buy your house right now. If you need to sell your house, get an all-cash offer and close in as little as 10 days. Don't waste another day letting your house sit on the market. Beat the rush, get your home sold, and get it sold for the most money. Put cash in your pocket right now. Whether it's old, new, in need of repairs, the Edge Group will buy your home, and it won't charge you a penny in commission. So don't wait. Right now is the best time to sell and protect your equity and future. Call the Edge Group right now and get an all-cash offer at 474-5851. No one helps more homeowners get more money than the Edge Group. So call them now at 474-5851. There is no obligation, no risk. Call the Edge Group today to see what your home is worth and get an all-cash offer today from the Edge Group at 474-5851. The Edge Group at Keller Williams Realty.
Peninsular Pest Control's fertilization and weed suppression program is great if you don't have a lot of spare time. And it will probably cost you less than it would if you did it yourself. Call Peninsular Pest Control today at 389-3491 for a free consultation or go online to crittergetter.com. Be sure to ask about the $30 discount on new services. Remember, Peninsular is your Critter Getter.
All year long, you'll be singing our song. Stay cooler with Bueller. At the head of our class, we make it happen fast. Stay cooler with Bueller. For heating and air, we always play fair. We make the difference because we really care. Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Instant Keys specializes in creating replacement automotive keys, even when all the originals are lost or broken. Instant Keys provides expert service for nearly every foreign and domestic vehicle, including the high-end luxury models like BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, and Infiniti. With Instant Keys, you'll get dealership-level service at a fraction of the cost without the dealership hassles. If you need honest, professional locksmith service, call the best around. Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Let's have lunch with Leon.
It was just total chaos at Miami.
Former Jacksonville Pro Bowler Leon Searcy is serving up lunch on XL Primetime.
Brought to you by Wingstop. Weekdays from noon till 1:30 on 1010XL.
Listen to 1010XL, baby.
It's been a challenging year, and exceptional people have risen to the occasion. Now's the time to recognize them. Know someone who's making an impact in our community? Nominate them to be this year's TIAA Bank Community Champion. Each winning nominee will receive a $1,000 donation towards their cause and will share their story with the world. Visit TIAABank.com/community champion for details, terms, and conditions. The deadline to nominate is June 26th. Visit TIAABank.com/community champion.
McKeever Clinic is home to the first advanced prostate cancer center in Jacksonville. This is Dr. West, urologist at McKeever Clinic. Our clinic is staffed with 2 urologists that specialize in advanced prostate cancer care and management. You'll also have a dedicated nurse navigator that will coordinate timing, medications, insurance, and patient assistance. We're conveniently located off AC Skinner Parkway on the south side. Contact our specialist at McKeever at 355-6583 to discuss your treatment options.
Brakes for less is what we do. We know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. If there's a squeal in your wheel, come see the best. 733 Stop.
Brakes for less.
All we do
are brakes for less.
With hurricane season now here, the only weather you need to be concerned about is whether your homeowner's insurance policy will cover you in the event of storm damage. Ask about Southern Oak Insurance today.
our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist presents Dr. Chris Swanson on the Sports Den. A board-certified orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine, Dr. Swanson has been assistant team physician for the Cincinnati Bengals and Drexel University men's basketball and is the current team physician for several area high schools. Visit se-ortho.com.
It is the Sports Den on a Monday night, and that means that we get to have Dr. Chris Swanson on, hopefully, on Monday nights. I was just saying to James, it's like, all right, what are we talking about? And then I remembered we've got the Clemson wide receiver.
Right.
And then you were telling me about Ruggs.
Yeah, Henry Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs as well. So we've got real injuries to discuss with Dr. Swanson. Doc, what's going on?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, good. I got your text earlier. You know what Doc did?
What?
He finally went and bought the running shoes I've been talking about for the past 2 years. Go ahead, Doc. Tell everybody.
Oh man, this is the free promo. It's unbelievable, man. They're total game changer.
What kind of running shoes?
They're called Hoka. I'm gonna shout them out. They don't pay me.
I bought one pair at first place, and that was the last one they had left in my size. And then I ordered 3 more online.
I'm telling you,
I'm wearing
Hoka
them
won
in surgery. I'm wearing them to work out. I'm wearing them every chance I get to wear them.
Yeah, I don't know what they're putting.
How
in
do you
those
spell
shoes.
that?
Hoka.
It's not. I mean, they're ugly. They're no fashion statement.
No.
Yeah, these are ugly.
Oh yeah, they are
I mean,
ugly.
there's no question. But man, I wore them in surgery last week. I felt like I was walking on a cloud.
Well, you know what? I think those off-brand things are ugly, and all the kids love those. So who knows? Maybe one day, Off-White, is that what it's called?
Oh,
Maybe
the Jays?
like
Oh, the Off-White brand. I know what
Off-White
you're
just
saying.
means doesn't it mean like they keep like the tag on it or something? I don't know. I don't get
know.
it.
The Hoka ones you're not gonna wear and be like, yo, look at these.
Yo.
But you're gonna strut a little different in them.
They got flip flops.
Oh man.
Oh, the flip flops are
I
amazing.
ordered some of those too.
Oh, they look terrible. These are.
I need a promo code.
They
Hoka.
look like those Crocs.
Do you know how many people I've turned on to them the last year? Like they should be a Sports Den sponsor.
Danny, I can't believe you let me go this long without trying them, man.
Oh my God.
It's amazing.
How long do these last?
What, the shoes?
Yeah.
Depends how much you run.
If I invest.
Angie goes through a pair every 4 or 5 months.
Oh.
But she runs 6 miles a day.
Oh.
5 or 6 miles a day. So why you think they're expensive?
The difference
No,
between
they're
my
cheap.
New Balance shoes and those, I mean, it's literally it's hard to put in words.
I know you're not about to call these expensive. Let me look at what you've got on your feet.
Well,
Hold on.
Anything compared to New Balance is gonna feel
Hey,
amazing.
James
bro.
has Yeezys on, and he's about to complain about the price of these Hokas.
These will last me for forever.
I was looking
you
at
don't
some that
run.
are only $50.
You don't
You
run.
saw
if you
something that no, are you sure that wasn't the gear?
Oh, maybe.
'Cause I just looked at the shoes. There were
Oh
200.
yeah, they're
then
like
there was
150. Never mind.
It's the best 150 you'll spend.
All right.
Easily.
All right, Doc, we've got injury news. Which one do we want to start with?
Let's start off with the one that, let's start with Ross because that's more depressing.
With Ross?
Isn't that,
Justin Ross from
Yeah,
Clemson.
Justin Ross. Yeah. Ross Ruggs sounds like.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he's out for 2020 with what they're calling a spinal issue. And they're saying his career could be in jeopardy. And it's called a congenital fusion in his spine. First off, what is that?
So, that means that so the first thing, it means he's had it since birth, basically. And it means that some of the vertebrae or the bones in his neck have been fused that entire time. And then it sounds like he had an additional injury on top of that that caused some sort of, and that during the spring game or something, and that's what caused them to find this. He didn't even know he had it.
So this is Justin Ross, the receiver for Clemson, who was going to be a top 10 pick. Top 15.
Right.
Safe to say he's not going to be. Even if he heals. Like there's a quote in what I'm reading. He's going to undergo surgery in Pittsburgh on Friday. And the quote says, Dabo Sweeney is optimistic that Ross will be able to get back to football at some point, but Sweeney said he is unaware of any player who has undergone surgery for this issue and returned.
So he has no idea what he's talking about, is what he's saying.
Yeah, so I think the difference is that there's been guys, so Peyton Manning, right? He had a cervical fusion and came back to play for the Broncos. You know, he lost a little velocity on the heater, but
a little
he did come back.
You look like me throwing.
That's as a Patriots fan. That's nice. I could say it. And then, but he came back and was still able to play. The difference with this is that he has a congenital fusion, and now he's going to have an additional surgical fusion. It sounds like, which kind of adds an additional layer on that. And the biggest thing, right, is your neck. I mean, you got to be careful. Obviously, you know, if you have an injury at that level, you're talking about paralysis, and you know, that's certainly something you never want to see.
Is this what Jason Witten had? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't think he had a congenital fusion.
He had something
but
that he had to sign something.
I'm not positive.
Yeah,
no, that was with his lung.
His lung? Okay.
The broken ribs and the pneumothorax, I believe, was then what he had to sign a waiver for to come back quickly from that.
Well, I mean, this is a sad story because
he had a lacerated spleen.
Yeah.
Spleen, there was.
That's not good.
No.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. But he still had to get back on the field.
Which is I mean, that's an emergency. I mean, that
had to get out of the house.
Sometimes you have to have your spleen removed from that. It's one of the only things that can actually sort of kill you on a football field. Is the
Jeez, Witten.
Yeah, well, that was literally like they made him sign something that said,
"Your family can't sue us."
Yes, and he's like, "Okay."
That's what happened to Chris Sims too. Remember?
Yep.
A while back.
I forgot about that one. So, I mean, do you see any way that Justin Ross returns from this?
Jeez. I mean, it's going to become, it'll become one, obviously it'll depend how the surgery goes. And then, it really becomes sort of a risk reward kind of thing. As a receiver, going across the middle, taking hits.
Is this something that a team doctor during the draft process could look at and say, he's good to go? Or is this something that every time he gets hits, everybody's going to be holding their breath?
I think, again, it depends. So that depends how many levels are fused, where it is in relation to congenital issues. But I think that could be a tricky one to clear. I mean,
that stinks. That stinks for him.
And what's hard is, like you said, what's really sad about it is, he was essentially fine, felt fine, no issues for his entire life, and then had some stinger type symptoms, I think, and then. They found this. That's been there all along. He made it through high school and a couple of years of college, and it's always been there. He's had no issues with it, though.
So, okay, let's move on to Ruggs. What happened to Ruggs, James?
Apparently, he was moving with a friend, and he got caught between a truck and a trailer, and it pinched his thigh. What's the artery? Is it femoral? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, femoral artery is the biggest artery, one of the biggest arteries in your body. Certainly the biggest in your leg, it's in your thigh.
He was 1 inch away from hitting that.
Never
So
help
did you
your
actually
friends
have
move.
yeah, movers move, man. Pay them.
Especially when you're a first round pick.
Yeah, what the hell?
What was he? Number 12 overall pick. Man, and he ran a 4.27, so he probably got an Adidas deal or something like that. What's he doing moving?
Yeah, that's why I don't help my friends move.
But this says he'll be fine.
And I'm not even rich.
Yeah, I mean, he'll recover
so-
it, but like how long does it take you to I mean, if it went through his quad, like that's got to be pretty rough, or is it like something which obviously you don't want any of that to happen, but is it something that you would rather have?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously if it was that close to a major, you hit that major artery, you're losing blood in a hurry. That could have been leg or life threatening, but by missing that, if you're just into the quad, I mean, especially with somewhat of a cleaner laceration, that should heal pretty quickly. I would expect him to miss much time with that.
On the phone with Dr. Chris Swanson from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Make sure you get Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you need any type of ortho help. If you need knee or shoulder, if you have knee or shoulder issues, get to Dr. Swanson. Those are his specialties. You can call him at 904-634-0640. Do you guys still have the urgent ortho stuff going on?
Yeah, we still have that going on at the South Side office and at the Fleming Island office. You can still get seen 8 to 5 Monday through Friday without an appointment if you have an injury. That's still going.
What is it getting closer to business back to usual?
Yeah, I think from our standpoint, we're really kind of close to where we were before this all happened. There's been a big backlog on surgeries, so there's been tons of surgeries done since the middle of May. So over the last 3 weeks or so, kind of trying to catch up on all the people who are scheduled from mid-March to May for elective surgeries, and people are starting to find their way back into the office, and it's the new normal. There's still not as many people in the waiting room, and masks and all that kind of stuff, and extra clean and extra precautions, but at least we're kind of heading in that direction. And sounds like some of the schools around are starting to get into a little bit of the off-season conditioning type of stuff, and so that'll be good too.
Yeah, well, I'm ready for all of that to happen. I'm ready for these guys to go back to college is what I'm ready for. One by one, they're starting to leave, but yeah, I'm ready for all of that to get back to normal. Well, Doc, we always appreciate you coming on Monday night, man, and thanks for the insight tonight.
Yep, you bet. You guys have a good week.
All right, that's Dr. Chris Swanson from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. A couple of things, I'm going to say this out loud just so I know to get to this, because we've had a couple of things on the text line and on the Facebook Live. One person wanted me to go into greater conversation with you about what I came on the drill this morning to talk about, which was a recruiting thing that Dan Hicken wanted to ask me about.
Okay.
That had to do with Carson Beck. And so I want to get to that later. And then there was another Carson Beck question. Carson Beck, the Georgia quarterback from Mandarin that I trained here locally. There was another Carson Beck question on the text line as well. We'll get to that in a couple of segments. I want to come back and get to what we teased before. Do players have a social responsibility to speak? We'll get to that coming up next.
1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
I think that went pretty damn well. It was a train wreck.
Mornings
That is it. I'm pulling the plug.
on 1010XL.
What are you talking about?
Diamonds Direct celebrates the reopening of our local economy with our most amazing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing with no money down on anything and everything. Yes! Now, for a limited time, Diamonds Direct is doing our part to help you get back to normal and celebrate your love like never before. Our prices and values are the best ever. Our showcases are fully stocked, and we're letting you buy now with nothing down, and you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. Been putting off that engagement? Get her a $6,000 designer ring now and pay just $100 a month. Did you miss celebrating that anniversary? How about a $3,000 Diamond Eternity Band for just $50 a month? Summer is the season for love, and we're doing all we can to make this summer one to remember with exceptional values, extra selection, and the most exceptional finance opportunity. 5 years, 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
Hope Haven believes in children and youth with special needs and abilities and has developed programs to help ensure their success. Find out more about their employment services and internship program at hope-haven.org.
Big Brothers Big Sisters nurtures local kids and strengthens communities. You build positive relationships that have a lasting effect on young people. Get involved at bbbs.org.
Habitat for Humanity helps families build and improve their homes. If you want to build a better Jacksonville, visit habitat.org.
Join Jacksonville's City Rescue Mission to help transform the lives of the homeless and needy. crmjax.org.
First Coast YMCA helps develop Jacksonville's youth. You can help our children find a better future at fcymca.org.
If you're involved with a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, visit our website to find out how at 1010XL.com. This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 1st, 1982, Ricky Henderson steals 2 bases in a 3-2 win over the Boston Red Sox, becoming the fastest to reach 50 stolen bases in an MLB season.
Jacksonville is bouncing back to business.
Key Buick GMC, McGowan's Heating and Air, and One-to-One Financial Credit Union
are up and running again. If your business is back open, tell us at 1010XL.com.
When you owe the IRS and can't pay,
Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Jacksonville, for affordable IRS tax representation. J. David Tax Law can stop any IRS collection action and protect you from financial devastation. Call J. David Tax Law for a no-cost consultation at 507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Mark Watson here with Hardball Creative. It's been a crazy couple of months, but as we prepare to move forward, make sure your company is ready. Welcome employees back with a new polo or branded coffee mug. Outfit servers with new tees and caps. Or what about car magnets for deliveries? Remember, Hardball does it all. Call us today at 9988778 or online at hardballcreative.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
Really, right before we come on?
Well, I just thought I would have to say, like, to defend him, like, they're cool now.
For those listening, like, JJ can say
Inside
something
stuff.
into our headphones that you guys can't hear, and he just decided to do it right as he was playing the liner. Completely distracted me. I'm already unprofessional at this, JJ. Supposed to help us with that. It is a Sports Den brought to you by thehumidor.com. Make sure you get to thehumidor.com for all your cigar needs. Large selection of cigars, already low prices. Go in there, get a ton of them. Support us by supporting thehumidor.com. And then when you check out, type in Sports Den, all lowercase, all one word, and you'll get 20% off. Be shipped right to your house.
I was so mad at Chris Porter.
At Chris Porter? Or
Chris
how did we
Porter.
get to Chris Porter?
Chris Porter went to an establishment that I like.
Okay.
They hit me up. And they were like, "Hey, your boys Porter's in here buying cigars."
What?
And I texted him. I said, "You treacherous traitor. How dare you turn your back?"
Wow. Porter?
Set tripping, baby.
That's pathetic. I'm going on strike. I'm not watching that for 2 nights.
I wouldn't have a reason to have suits, though, if I went on strike.
Before we went to break, and I'm going to get to some of the text line here in just a little bit. Is there a social responsibility to being an athlete? Not is there a right. I think we all agree that people have right to say whatever they want to say.
Right.
Whether you listen to them or not is your right as well.
Mhm.
Is there a responsibility? Because that's the one thing that I saw on Twitter was waiting to hear such and such say something, waiting to hear this person. And a lot of it was college coaches.
Right.
A lot of it was I'm waiting to hear a college coach say something about this. And it just got me thinking, like, do they have to?
No, you don't have to do anything. Like,
Is it a responsibility to? Should they?
in theory, but should they? Yeah. All right. So let's go back a few weeks ago to the MJ documentary.
Okay.
And because I believe that this is relevant. The man, he was asked, they talked about explaining in detail, which I understand more about where I hate to even say that because our Republicans anyways, he made a statement about why he doesn't speak on political issues. And if he spoke on political issues, he might not be who he is today. Fair. When we lump him on the Mount Rushmore of great athletes like a Muhammad Ali, who made a statement that what good is it for me to be on a yacht and free when my fellow brother can't be? So, like, that's kind of in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Those are the people who he's being judged against. But now you have Jordan make a statement with all of this. And it's kind of like I think now I'm really starting to say with this documentary, he's really trying to go back and patch up some things that he didn't do when he was there because he feels a little guilty. Had he maybe he feels if I maybe would have spoke up more during that time, with how great I am now, how much greater could it be for everybody? And I think the responsibility comes in is that because we had segregation and it wasn't that long ago, like I keep telling people, my mother was the first person in my family who went to an integrated school, and Magic Pixie Dust didn't get sprinkled. we're a lot of first, or we're a lot of only, or we're a lot, which gets tiring. But your responsibility is to show people that, hey, this is me. Like almost humanizing the person because they can't get it. And I understand why a lot of people, Matt did a great job of explaining. I think Lauren talked, I get why some people would never think that this would even happen because that's good. That's your reality, but it's not for everybody. But I think like to just say that, damn, that's messed up. That's really all you got to say. You don't really have to if you don't know all the facts, don't speak to it. But just say like, yo, that looked awful. Like I even if you don't say I hope to see more, but like just say, damn, that's awful and keep it pushing. But when it becomes more telling in a situation where it's competitive, right? And every little thing matters to where we have, swag. We talk about when negative recruiting comes in. Do you really want to be the coach that couldn't even say this when you're going into they're not going into the suburbs to go get football players. Not as much as they're going into the inner cities. We've heard coaches with we won't pull them out. We've heard some of the dialect. They know what it's like. But bigger than the kids they're trying to recruit, you got 17 to 24-year-olds that are developing that don't understand what's happening to them. And you've got very eloquent coaches who speak on a matter of everything. So like me, I'm like for Dabo to be compared to Bobby so much, his silence until today, and even what he said today was just, I was disappointed because he's such a great coach.
But see that's where people talk about Nick Saban's statement and how they were disappointed in that.
I was prepared.
I didn't.
I'm gonna tell you
I didn't read it. I don't know. I just it's like. They've got a PR person writing it,
right,
reading it, and all that kind of stuff, and they're trying to appease a bunch of different people.
No. Saban, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because Saban doesn't speak on anything. Saban's the type of person, same person who said, "I didn't realize there was an election going on. I'm trying to win games."
He didn't even know this was happening.
Right. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Who I won't is Dabo because he didn't have a PR person speak when Kaepernick came out.
Okay.
He knew exactly how he felt. He was pointed. He used the MLK, the same 3 MLK quotes that get tossed around. He used those, but now it took you a week to speak.
Yeah,
that's where it comes in when you open your mouth.
When did the video come out?
I think it came out Monday.
It happened Monday.
It happened Monday. The video. That's what
maybe Wednesday.
Maybe yeah. But again, it's just something like I don't need you to speak, and I don't need. We don't need you to be a role model. What we need you to be, though, is a person that no matter what I want to, I like the Charles. I have MFCK, but no matter what people say through the text line or whatever else, because I don't think I'm a lot of those things, but there's only 5 of me in this city. 5, and when I say of me, sports journalists that are African American, maybe 6, but it's not a lot. So if I screw up and I mess up, whether I believe it or not, I'm messing it up for the next person. And if I won't speak on it, you know who else gets to speak on it? A bunch of people who don't even understand the culture get to speak on it. And then that's when you get situations that get misconstrued and you don't have a voice.
And I think that's where I'm going with a lot of this because I don't think there's a responsibility.
Yeah.
Because one, I don't think that this is a political statement. So I like
right. I don't. That's what bothers me. I don't want it to say like when people say if you don't like it, get out and vote. I'll be honest with you. I can't make that because I ain't gonna lie. I'm not in that political spirit like that. But what I can say is that it's wrong to see somebody killed.
Right. See, I'm split on this, and so is the text line. By the way, we have people on the text line saying that their only responsibility is to show up to work just like everybody else. And then we have somebody else on the text line say pro athletes should be good role models so the kids who idolize them know how to be a pro and act on the field and off the field.
You know, I would agree with what people say about pro athletes because you really do. The responsibility you have is to your family first. But when athletes mess up, that's not the narrative that gets pushed out when athletes mess up. That's not the apology that athletes issue when they get arrested, when they do anything else. They all say that I should act better. I messed up with my employee or whatever, and I have a responsibility to uphold or whatever else they do. Because now, if what was said is their only responsibility is to do their job well, then if I got arrested and I can still do my job well, I don't owe anybody an apology except for to go out and perform myself as best as possible. You do have a responsibility to be an amazing citizen. And if you feel called, speak. It's no force. But one thing we can all say is that if you can't avoid it. And if you saw that video, if you see the videos of the protest, you are urged to feel something.
You have a feeling. Well, yeah.
So
no
like
doubt.
if you don't feel anything, don't feel free to not speak. But what you're feeling could help the next person, but you're not obligated to do anything.
I didn't even think about the college coaches and their responsibility until I saw people post about it.
Like, what do college coaches, like, this is why college coaches have responsibility. What do they come in, what do they go in the homes?
Well, what I was
and
gonna say,
typically
but after y'all said that,
I'm gonna take care of your kid.
and by y'all I mean you and Quincy were the first two that I saw posted. Quincy Avery, he was another quarterback trainer. After y'all said that, I was like, it got me thinking, do they? I didn't think about it, and then I thought, you know what? Maybe they do.
What is one of the all team sports? What is one of the cliche words that gets used a ton?
I mean, there's a lot of.
I'm just thinking one, like one that like we're all family.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You'd be quiet if would you be quiet if that was your son?
Right.
That's where you again. What are we? Cool. Tell me this is a business relationship. My job is to make money off of you and give you opportunity to make money. I can respect that. Don't come in my house. Tell my mother, I'm going to make your son a better man. I'm going to make your son this. And even if he doesn't graduate, doesn't play in the NFL, he's going to be a better man for having been around me and then be a coward.
Can I flip the script on you?
Sure.
Do you think there's coaches that made a statement that they don't wholeheartedly agree with for the sake of recruiting?
Without a doubt.
And I think that's where it's like.
But that's
like,
no
wouldn't you
different.
rather them not say anything than
Right.
have some fake PR? Because that's what all of them are.
No,
But
that's not true.
So
not all
many of them.
no, because
are
I
like,
will say, and
oh,
this
I'll
kind of
stand
leads
hand in
in
hand with me and my black brethren. It's like, you didn't write this, dude. This
Well,
is
this kind of leads
something
into
City
what I want to
Bank
get
would
into
release.
for 8 o'clock with recruiting. I don't think that there's as many as you think with that,
You know what,
JJ,
though?
because of
I read a lot of those,
I would-
and mostly I'm talking about a lot of companies.
No, I think a lot of
but
believe
then a lot of the coaches too. It's like,
I
this
would
is
actually,
so
I would respect it.
fake.
I would respect it more because you just took a risk.
you'd
and
respect it, but you would.
No. What I'm
you
saying
wouldn't.
is no matter how we want to believe, and again, there's cause and effect. No matter what you want to believe, if you don't say it, or if you say what you truly mean, like I say, Saban is big enough for people not to care. But here's what
I think it would be
Here's
a risk
what
right now
I
not to
know.
release one of those statements.
Here's what I know, and I said this on the Frangie show. The guy who does not get spoken about enough when in terms of civil rights is Bear Bryant. Bear Bryant was big enough to say one year that I don't believe I need African Americans to win games. I believe we can win games the way we want. And you know what he did? He stuck to it.
And he
But then when USC came in and whooped his ass, he changed his mind. And he said, I do need those guys. And you know what he did? He had George Wallace, the guy who the year before said segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever, call a black recruit. He ended up going to Tennessee saying, I would love nothing more than see you to be the quarterback at Alabama. In the 60s. That took balls. If you believe you are who you are, like that was real. Like, again, do I believe Bear Bryant just had this burning desire to bring about civil rights? Hell no. But what he did have is a burning desire to win. He had a burning desire to win.
willing to stick his neck
and
out
he's
to
willing
do
to
it.
stick his neck out to do it.
Yeah.
Saban ain't got to worry about people lynching cats and going after church on Sunday. What? I wouldn't send my son to a guy who couldn't do it because I would believe you're a coward. That's the reason why.
But I do think, like, even though I said there could be some of these that they don't wholeheartedly believe. I think 90%. I'm making that up. That's random, but
You just believe a good majority do. They're not bad guys.
Well, let's think
They're
about
just in a
this.
job where they got to win, and you got to.
Well, no, let's think about this for a second. If you're a head coach at the college level right now, you're very successful, regardless of what college you're at. You're making a lot of money. You've come up the ladder. You've been around football now for the better part of 30, 40 years. If you've been around football for 30 or 40 years, you have been in locker rooms that are at least 50-50.
Right.
In most cases, more 70-30, right, in favor of minorities. Like, you at some point that does become your family because you are in there so much.
Right.
So I do think that the majority of them do mean what they're saying, and especially the guys.
I didn't say I don't think they hate black people or anything, but the statements specifically just sound so PR.
I get what you like. It sounds. They're very dry. They lack emotion.
Exactly.
They lack passion.
Exactly.
Some guys, are saying it different. Like I just believe that if this is where I made my money or where my bread was buttered, I would make sure that I still had bread and that I could make sure I put butter on it.
I got you.
And I wouldn't leave anything to chance. And guys who I kind of do believe, I'm like, look, like President Futch, like I repeated
University of Florida.
I retweeted what he said. I thought it was dope what President Thrasher said. Like, those are guys who really gain nothing by doing this.
Right. They're not expected to do it.
Like,
yeah.
The African American population at their schools is less than 8%.
Yeah.
Like, way less than that. I think I gave both schools too much. My point is that it's about, don't espouse to say I'm about teaching people right and wrong and then be afraid to speak out on right and wrong. And that's, like, again, that's really what it comes down to. Like, if you don't say anything, like, again, if you're like Charles Barkley, cool. You said what you said, and I get it. But if you make statements and you have had no problem making other statements, you should have no problem when it comes to this.
So let me take it one step further. Get off the coaching topic. Go straight to athletes. Do white athletes have a social responsibility to speak on this?
If you want to, anybody who wants to end racism, and if a lot of people like to say both sides, fine. Let's say all of it. Then you have a responsibility to use your privilege, whether not just white privilege, but like if you're more likely to get help than I am at this point. But like if you were in the hood and I saw something wrong happen, I have the obligation to, if you're my friend and I want to end it, I have the obligation to use my privilege in that manner to help you. If you see things that are wrong, then if you want to end it, it's your job to point out that that's wrong. Almost everybody, even racists, love Remember the Titans. And that's essentially what the entire movie was about, even if it was fictionalized. It was essentially about guys who did not know each other, who came together with a common bond and decided that they wanted to change a city through them winning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I believe what Trevor Lawrence did was amazing. I believe what Sam Howell did was amazing. I believe what Dan or Klaus, whatever, the guy who's
Orlovsky,
even though he said some other things, but I love what he said.
He had an interesting week last week.
Yeah, like he was getting all over the place. But
I think that's why a lot of people don't make any statements, is because if you don't say the right thing,
that was two different things.
He didn't get
I don't even know what you're referring to.
Yeah, no,
but I just know that Dabo's getting dragged on Twitter, which Twitter's not a fair representation of how everyone feels, obviously. But
I'll tell you why Dabo's getting dragged. Dabo's getting dragged
because of the Kaepernick stuff.
No, not just that. But that's not really it. He said everything. Yeah, that's why he should get dragged. He said he skirted around the subject. He didn't really attack the meat of it. Like, he spoke, but he didn't speak. You know how people do that.
Yeah,
and I think that's really why
it was a lot more about just faith-based stuff.
I haven't read any of these guys, and I don't really.
I mean, like, to me, I'm not a Clemson fan. So, I mean, like, maybe he doesn't need to say anything.
Will his statement change anything for anyone? That's my thing.
It depends on how angry some of these parents are. Like,
I get it.
It's not going to happen right now.
Parents,
it's not going to happen right now. I'll tell you this. Okay, so FSU just had a guy leave Mississippi State that came, Lockett, Fabian Lockett. His father, Abdul Lockett. already can tell you exactly what Abdul. You can envision what Abdul looks like in your head. Very about not about the cause, but very in tune. Even though living in Mississippi, when he was already not necessarily feeling the change, but when the tweet came out that Mike Leach, whether we believe, no matter what we believe,
the picture
that was
of the
moment.
news.
That was the moment that he said, "I can't have my son playing here. I got to get him out of here."
So he was already there. So
that pushed him over.
Right.
Didn't change everybody at Mississippi State. There are some kids who are thinking about it, but there's some kids who want to change.
Right.
I'm not saying Mike Leach is racist. I'm not here to say that. I'm saying that I'm not here to say Dabo's racist. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that if it's between a school that is like, if it's between what Ryan Day did, if it's between Ohio State and Clemson, and there's very little things that separate it, I will go and put my son in the best place that I believe he's going to be
wasn't even
appreciated.
thinking about the kids, honestly. I was just thinking about like fans and
fans. See, fans will respect winning no matter what, and that's why I respect what Bear Bryant did, because Bear Bryant wanted to win. It was purely about winning.
Somebody's calling you out on that, by the way, saying that he was already for that before he got his butt kicked. It's on. It's on.
Okay.
The text.
Listen, maybe. I know the year before, because I saw the documentary and they put it up there. They put up his words, not mine. His words the year before that, he said, if I need African-American players, I don't think I need them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Bear Bryant said. Again, we're talking semantics, but I do know this. You know what? I'll go a step further and say you're right. When did he have George Wallace call the recruit?
Mm-hmm.
It was the year after he got his ass whooped. Semantics. Bottom line is, it happened after that happened, and it wasn't him. And that's why I say you have to use it. He didn't just stop it himself. He got other people involved, known racists involved.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know that's balls. Is when you can go and you can influence the person that you know ain't got has no intentions of doing what they're doing. This whole standing up and tweeting about other stuff, cool. I'm not going to stop you with that. But influence comes in with trying to make sure other people go in. And he didn't say, what about HBCUs either? He said, nah, I want to win. And that's again, is that right? I don't know. But I know it brought about change.
I want to get to 8 o'clock, and my 8 o'clock, I'm just going to tell you guys, has a lot to do with the conversation I had with Dan Hicken this morning on the drill.
Damn, you hate Hick?
Love Hick. About recruiting. We'll get to that coming up next.
Pull up a seat, pop a top, and say, Alexa, open 1010XL skill.
Manny Diaz looks like a crooked youth pastor.
1010XL, your new corner bar.
I was on the go. It was time to eat. I said, baby, grab a Danny, cause they can't be beat. She got something else when it was time to choose. And after just one bite, I got that soggy sandwich blue. Should've known better, only Danny will do. Got that hometown flavor creeping up on you. Yeah.
Instant Keys specializes in creating replacement automotive keys, even when all the originals are lost or broken. Instant Keys provides expert service for nearly every foreign and domestic vehicle, including the high-end luxury models like BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, and Infiniti. With Instant Keys, you'll get dealership-level service at a fraction of the cost without the dealership hassles. If you need honest, professional locksmith service, call the best around. Instant Keys, 722-1111.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Brakes for less is what we do. We know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. If there's a squeal in your wheel, come see the best. 733 Stop.
Brakes for less.
All we do
are brakes for less.
The Edge Group wants to buy your house right now. If you need to sell your house, get an all-cash offer and close in as little as 10 days. Don't waste another day letting your house sit on the market. Beat the rush, get your home sold, and get it sold for the most money. Put cash in your pocket right now. Whether it's old, new, in need of repairs, the Edge Group will buy your home, and it won't charge you a penny in commission. So don't wait. Right now is the best time to sell and protect your equity in future. Call the Edge Group right now and get an all-cash offer at 474-5851. No one helps more homeowners get more money than the Edge Group. So call them now at 474-5851. There is no obligation, no risk. Call the Edge Group today to see what your home is worth and get an all-cash offer today from the Edge Group at 474-5851. The Edge Group at Keller Williams Realty.
It's been a challenging year, and exceptional people have risen to the occasion. Now's the time to recognize them. Know someone who's making an impact in our community? Nominate them to be this year's TIAA Bank Community Champion. Each winning nominee will receive a $1,000 donation towards their cause and will share their story with the world. Visit TIAABank.com/community champion for details, terms, and conditions. The deadline to nominate is June 26th. Visit TIAABank.com/community champion.
If you're a man over 45, have frequent urination, an urgent need to go, a weak flow, or waking at night to urinate, it's time to consider UroLift. This is Dr. West, urologist with McKeever Clinic. UroLift is a non-invasive outpatient procedure with minimal downtime. If you suffer from an enlarged prostate and want to avoid the sexual side effects of medication and invasive surgery, UroLift may be for you. Contact McKeever Clinic at 355-6583. That's 355-6583.
Peninsular Pest Control can help you with bugs inside and outside of your home. Our trained service technicians specialize in treating interior and exterior pest problems. Whether it's mosquito suppression or ant control, they stand behind their service. Schedule a free consultation by phone or online at crittergetter.com. Ask about the $30 discount on new services. Remember, Peninsular is your Critter Getter.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. You mad, bro? 1010XL 92.5 FM. Join us in the sports den. Call or text 641-1010.
Open up your heart and let that hate out.
8 o'clock brought to you by Loose Air Quality, Luce airquality.com. Environmental testing for your home or your business. Get to Loose Air Quality. Live in Florida, you're probably going to have mold issues at some point. You don't know anybody that tests for mold. We're telling you who tests for mold. They're local. Got the best equipment around, the best staff around. That's Loose Air Quality. You can go to luceairquality.com or call them at 904-803-1014. That's 803-1014. Mold investigations, water damage and fire investigations. They do it all right there at Loose Air Quality. Real quick before we get to 8 o'clock, somebody hit me up on Twitter asking about the hat I'm wearing. Where can they get it? Well, it's funny you ask. 6 Points Jacks. The number 6 Points Jacks. We have hats there if you'd like to order them. They'll be shipped to you. So this morning, Hicken hit me up yesterday and we were talking about the Georgia situation, the quarterback situation. And the quarterback situation is you signed Carson Beck, who Mr. Football and State of Florida State champion, all that kind of stuff. Then Jake Fromm says he's leaving. So you go out and you get Jamie Newman, graduate transfer from Wake.
Right.
And just last week, they go and they sign, was it JT Daniels? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Who had gotten beaten out at USC because he tore his ACL. He had the job, tore his ACL, and then the starter for USC is a very good player. So JT Daniels is a very good player. And so it got us into this whole recruiting situation. And then somebody on I don't know if it was on Facebook or
I think it was on
Twitter, said something about, Georgia screwed Carson Beck. No, and I want to be real here. No, they didn't. Not any more than what any other school does at any other position. Carson's still, in Carson's mind, you can't tell him he's not going to start week 1. He believes he is. He believes he's better than both of them, and I don't know both of them, but I know Carson. And I know Carson is one of the most competitive people I've ever been around in my life. Works his butt off and is crazy talented, so it would not surprise me at all if Carson's not the starter by week 2 or 3. It would surprise me a little bit if he was a week 1 starter. just because Jamie is a graduate transfer, and I'm sure there were promises made. But if Carson's the starter week 3 at Alabama, wouldn't shock me at all. With all that being said, what Dan and I were talking about today is recruiting in general and what it looks like these days. And I made the statement that I had a big-time SEC coach tell me the other day. I simply asked them, why can't you guys just be honest? And his answer to me was, because that never works.
That's true.
That kind of tells you where recruiting is.
I always compare recruiting to having game.
Go ahead.
Like women say, why can't you just be straight up with me? Because it never works. If being straight up worked, like more people would do it. But most people want to win. And again, you want to win. So you say, you don't lie. I don't believe there are guys who outright.
And I'm not making this about Georgia, by
Right,
the way.
no,
We're talking about a general recruiting conversation now.
Every year.
I have no beefs with Georgia right now.
Every year, a coach comes to a kid. Man, you're better than everything we got in our room right now. They just won a national championship. You mean to tell me you're telling a 5'5", 165 pound
5'5",
That's a stretch.
Come on.
My bad. You're telling this 5'10", 165 pound freshman that he's better than he can come in to be the number one wide receiver of a 6'4", 225 pound behemoth that just caught for 1,500 yards. It's a lie. But it's not. They're good and you want them and you're just trying to stroke the ego. That's why I always tell kids, kind of listen to what they say, but also do your research, look at fit, and see if it matches for you. Because it might not.
What is that? Oh, look at fit, like the fit at the school.
Yeah, like the school. Like, do they run a wing tee? Don't go
Look at
to
a
a school
depth
if you're a
chart.
wide receiver and they run a wing tee. Do they have 15 wide receivers and 12 of them are freshmen and sophomores? It's a little logjam there. Probably should go somewhere else unless it's just a school that you just really believe you can penetrate the roster or you have patience.
The bigger one that gets me is when a coach says to a kid, listen, we're not offering you yet, but you're next on our board. Man, you've told that to 15 different people. Like
to be honest, that's them being honest and you just not believing it. If a coach comes
ain't next on their board.
If a coach comes and tells me we like actually I'm a kid, Jordan Hood, who just committed to Michigan. Florida State wouldn't take his commitment. They wanted somebody else. He was a lifelong Florida State fan. I did an interview on fifthquarter.net. And FSU didn't take him. So he went and committed to Michigan where he was wanted. I told him the truth. I told him the truth. I like the kid. I like this film. But I'm like, yo, if this, I'll tell you the same thing I tell my son. It's like whenever you feel is right to make the decision that you made, don't let somebody string you along. Go where you're wanted because it's going to end up better for you. And, right now he made the best decision. And who knows how it turns out. But I do know this. Like, again, treat it as game. You're at the club. See a bunch of fine women. You talk to one, you buy her a drink or whatever. Say, hey, I'm going to come back to you, sweetheart. But you're who I want. And you go and tell another girl, hey, listen, I think you're fine. You're very cute. You're very beautiful. I would love to take you home tonight. You are next on my list, though. I got to see what she says. That ain't going to work, right? Nobody's going to take that. But that's what athletes do. Again, parents, this is where parents have to step up and not get caught or enamored in the recruiting process and be a parent.
Well, there's a couple things that you just kind of learn. Like one is what you're saying is everybody's going to tell us their version of the truth.
Right.
Not necessarily a lie, but their version of the truth. The second is once you sign, the recruitment's over.
Right.
It is completely different. And so in the Carson Beck situation, he chose to go to Georgia. Once he stepped foot on that campus, it's their job to get better. And if they think they can get better by expanding a quarterback room, I think they're crazy. I think that they're terrible managers of a quarterback room not because Carson's there, but because of what's been shown the last 3 or 4 years. That's my opinion, and I would tell them that. But at the same time, Carson, you signed up for it, now go compete.
At a certain point, that's all you have to do.
Yeah, and if you get there and you realize that, you know what, I'm not going to be on the field here because promises were made or whatever, then you transfer. And it's not from a lack of competition. It's from the kid's 6'5", 220, and can play on Sundays. You can't play on Sundays if you don't play on Saturdays.
Right.
Right. So, and to be fair, Carson has never even mentioned that. In fact, like I said earlier, Carson has every intention to go up there and win that job. And I believe the kid will. I can't say that about all my guys. I can say that about Carson. But once you get up there, if you think you're going to be treated the same as you were when you went on that official visit,
you're crazy.
You're absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. It is a whole different ballgame. I don't care if 5-star, 3-star, whatever it is. If you're a 5-star really good, you may get away with a little bit more, but you ain't having steak and lobster every night and getting paraded around in an Escalade. That's not happening. So on the recruiting side of things, what's been happening in Tallahassee? You mentioned Friday night. We didn't get a chance to get into it. Things are getting better.
We're getting kids. I don't necessarily know if they're getting better. We got a tight end today that committed from out of Alabama. Is kind of under the radar guy, but he's a depth guy right now. He could develop into something, but nothing to bring home about. We got a linebacker from out of Texas. He's an athlete. Eubanks. I can't remember.
I wish his name was Eubanks.
That would be
That'd
dope.
be awesome.
We got another DB. So I mean, it was funny because
Jordan Eubanks,
thank you. I know Hack says he's going to help plug him. Hack says he's got an interview with him. He's got some good stuff.
I'll give it to Hack. Hack works his butt off, man.
He's got some.
If there's a guy
good film.
committing to a 1AA school in the state of Florida, Hack will interview him.
He's on it, man.
Nice. But the Fabian Lovett situation was the better one than Jarian.
Who's that?
Johnson. Jarian Jones, excuse me. He was a safety from Mississippi State too. Came over, and there's some rumblings that a few more guys may enter the portal from a Mississippi State. It's only one that I really care about, but
the portal never closes.
Never.
Oh, the portal is lit right now. Yeah. I'm talking like lit. I have 3 guys that I train in the portal right now.
Yeah.
And in fact, somebody just asked us on the text line, Lifetime Enclosures text line, how different is recruiting a transfer versus recruiting a high schooler? Way different. 2 completely different processes. A high schooler, you develop a relationship over 2 years. A transfer, it's if you even want them, 90% of the people in the transfer portal don't go as big as what they were. If you even want them, it's like a 2 conversation, possibly a visit, not these days, type of situation.
And there has to be some kind of like coach that knows somebody. Either you recruited him coming out of high school and somebody reached out to you and informed you that this was potentially a decision. Like,
because like, how do you know a guy is thinking about leaving?
It's actually one of the few rules that are universally, for the most part, followed.
Which is what?
Which is they will not talk to anybody while they're still out of school. They have to be in that portal.
Right.
So you do have to take a leap of faith as a player of I may hear crickets.
So these kids go to the portal without knowing that there's a place to land?
Not all of them. No. Like I know
90% of them. Yes.
I'll put like this. There was a high profile recruit that everybody loves right now, whose dad was text messaging, not the coaches. Not the coaches.
I got you. I know you're talking about, don't I?
Yeah. Not the coaches, because that's illegal. But there are people that you can make aware
in the program
that will make people aware.
I mean, you've got the obvious ones. The Joey Gatewoods of the world knew he was going to land at a major program.
Right. Well, he entered
but
the portal.
90% of them go into that portal completely blind, JJ. Jaron Williams. Jaron Williams. You think he thought he would have crickets on the other end?
Not at all.
I don't even think he has actually.
He hasn't entered the portal?
No.
Yeah, he's in the portal.
Is he?
He's been in the portal for since January or February.
He doesn't die in there.
I don't think he's getting out.
Because Western Carolina the other day signed a Maryland transfer over him.
Oh yeah, Jaron Williams to Western Kentucky ? That was 3 weeks ago.
Oh, Kentucky. Okay, yeah. Yes, I mean, it is a big risk these cats are taking. JT Daniels knew, all right, I'm going to get a lot of interest.
Right.
There's guys that know, but dude, there are hundreds of kids in that portal with nowhere to go right now. Now, their team technically
They can bring them back.
Yeah, they don't have to kick them off once they go to the portal. So it's definitely different because it also depends on how much eligibility you have left.
Right, and I
Whether you
will say
graduate
that
or
that's
not.
what these guys these guys will get immediately playing. That's going to Florida State will get immediate playing time, and I believe they have 4 years to play 3.
Oh wow, so they're
like they got a good amount of time.
so they redshirted.
Yes,
Gotcha.
and
Gotcha.
one guy somebody was explaining to me that if you're an FSU fan and you want to see film on Fabian Lovett, look at Mississippi State versus LSU. Apparently, he had a really good game. I don't know. He's going to be a backup in rotation, but like he's not starting over Marvin Wilson. I can tell you that much.
A full class is somewhere around 24, 25, right?
Yes, 25 is considered a full class.
We are June 1st. Do you know how many commitments Tennessee has right now?
18.
JJ, you want to take a stab at this?
Say that one more time.
How many commitments has Tennessee taken on June 1st? Remember, 24, 25, 26, somewhere in that range is a full class.
I don't even know what a good number is, what a bad number is. I'm gonna go with James.
24.
How
They're
much
gonna
is
oversign.
how much by now is
Everybody else is in that.
Usually.
Well, okay. Florida is at 17. Ohio State's at 18. Clemson's at 13. North
Damn.
Carolina's at 15.
we're at 20 plus?
Yeah, they're at 24. Georgia's at 9. 8 of those 9 are 4 or 5 stars.
What they'll do is they'll process some guys out. Not process, excuse me. Process means they're already there. They'll bounce some guys out of the class if they get some shots at other people, or they're just going to oversign. And like what happens is, I don't know how many guys they had leave to the portal. I don't know how many guys they had, how many scholarships they had left right now on their roster. Because if they have, let's say they have, you got 85 on your active scholarships. Let's say they have 80. Then technically they can sign 30. If they're losing 20 seniors. I'll make sure I did it right. Excuse me. They're losing 25 seniors. They can bring in that many people.
Alabama has 6 commits right now.
Right now we're in front of Alabama.
Y'all are now 30th according to 247.
Nice.
Ahead though of Oklahoma.
Yep.
Ahead of Alabama. Some big names behind the likes of y'all are ahead of Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Behind
don't
SMU.
disrespect us. Oh man. Well, they pay players.
That was a long time ago. Behind Pittsburgh and Cincinnati.
Oh man.
Rutgers. Rutgers doing worse.
Hey, they got a new coach.
Mm-hmm.
Chiano's paying guys.
Is the Tennessee thing because of Pruitt or Doug's?
Doug's is really making that.
He really is.
Pruitt is a hell of a coach, man.
Hell of a recruiter.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
We don't know about the other part yet.
All right, let's take another break. When we come back, what do you want to? Let's get into a little bit of this baseball stuff. This is crazy. I'm sure we'll find a way back around to football as well. That's coming up next.
Bring in the heat. Your station for summertime fun. 1010XL, your summertime fun station.
Former NFL quarterback David Garrard.
Had surgery on my left knee. Dr. Murphy has done both of them, and so he's really helped me get back to my ability to get out and move around, play with the kids, and still feel like I'm a former NFL quarterback. Started to get a little older, and things stopped working like they should, and Dr. Murphy and Southeast Orthopedic really come in and save the day.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
If you've been involved in a car accident, call me, Mark Anajar, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. You've heard us talk about it. Window World, the #1 window replacement company in the USA, selling over 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years.
That's a lot of satisfied customers, and why J.D. Powers has awarded Window World Best in Customer Satisfaction 3 out of 4 years.
Window World stands behind their slogan, simply the best for less. With Window World, you get top quality windows at a price that leaves more of your money in your bank account, and you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement industry. When compared to our competition, there is none. See for yourself. Call the competition. Get quotes from them. But before you buy, get Window World's free estimate and compare the quality of the windows and the price.
You'll see.
And when your new Window World windows are installed and they're saving you money on your energy bills, if anything goes wrong with those windows, Window World and I will be there to make it right. That's my guarantee.
Call Window World today. Start saving money on your new windows and your energy bills, and take vacation with your savings. Window World, online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding. Odds are, when you're looking for the best plumbing service, it probably sounds something like this. Okay, Google, show me Roland Reach Plumbing. That's right. Roland Reach Plumbing is a Google guaranteed service, so you can be assured of work quality, background of employees, and the right service done on time, on budget. With satisfaction Google guaranteed. So for any plumbing issue, large or small, use the Bold City's best. Roland Reach Plumbing at plumberinjacks.com.
Don't feel bad when they know more than you.
Don't apologize.
Yeah, what happened there?
We've all been there.
Helmets and Heels.
Driven by Tire Outlet.
Brought to you by Underwood Jewelers.
Tuesdays from 6 to 8 p.m.
On 1010XL.
Tire Outlet is bringing the tires to you. Mike Dempsey here to tell you that Tire Outlet is now offering mobile service. No hassle, quick same-day installation. They're the largest locally owned tire shop in town, so wherever you are, choose a time and location that's convenient for you. A Tire Outlet professional will bring the new tires out and install them. Call this number to make an appointment, 600-0089. For mobile tire installation, that's 600-0089. Tire Outlet. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Hey, Hicken here. Hey, folks, one of the main things you can do to keep your family safe and healthy, frequently clean your carpets and other living surfaces. Zero Res came out to my house this year, and man, did they do a job. That house has never looked better, and I've been in it for 17 years. Now until Father's Day, Zero Res offering 25% off all cleaning services. All their cleaning services. Call Zero Res at 287-5727, 287-5727. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Like working outdoors and want better pay and benefits? Superior Fence and Rail is seeking full-time fence installers who can provide first-class customer service. Recognized as a best place to work on the First Coast, they'll train you to work with their professional team and provide you with all the tools you need to be a top-notch installer. Get off the fence. Call Superior Fence and Rail today and start your career.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Take advantage of working from home and get that project or spring cleaning done now. Rick Ballou here for Small Haul Dumpsters. They offer short-term dumpster rental with low rates and zero hidden fees. Saving you more on any size cleanup. Give Small Haul Dumpsters a call today at 552-5555 or go to smallhauldumpsters.com to reserve your Small Haul Dumpster today and get $50 off your first rental. Call today, 552-5555 or go to smallhauldumpsters.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
I forgot about this. I actually had a different 8 o'clock. Can I throw this out at you guys real quick? I was told today that don't do all that. It's not worth all that. Because somebody listening maybe can clarify this for me. Because I'm not in the insurance business. But I was told today, you remember how when the COVID thing happened, insurance companies didn't cover that because they said it was pandemic. And so they didn't have like business insurance, loss of business, all that kind of stuff. Because they said it was in the policy that it was a pandemic. Well, I was told today that there's people like in LA and San Diego trying to file claims. And they're getting denied because they're saying that burglary and arson as part of a protest or riot isn't covered. Like, what does it cover?
Doesn't cover a pandemic and it doesn't cover
First
robbery.
Off, if anybody knows if that's true or not, hit us up on the text line 641-1010. But It's literally what I would buy insurance for in case somebody burglarized or
What
burnt my
else
place down.
is there besides a fire and burglary?
Right.
I understand the pandemic because that's like that doesn't happen.
Right, you could bury that in the language, right?
Like, but when I got my insurance, I remember one of the things they asked me very specific. What's the value of the property that you have inside of your facility?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, why do we need to do that? Because, and the guy was like, well, in case you have a fire or anything like that, we need to be able to adjust it, like to make sure you're able to get the contents covered. Now, burglary, I don't really know about that part, but actually, I'm not going to say that that's all BS.
Okay.
But I know Target and Walmart and a lot of these, they're bigger. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I would expect they have.
But what I'm saying
top
is
of the
if
line.
they have it, then there must be smaller versions of said insurance policies.
Yes, but there has been a lot of insurance experts on Twitter the last couple of days just throwing it aside like, hey, these people got their whole business burned to the ground or looted. It's like, hey, they got insurance.
Here's
like,
something
that's not how it works.
Here's something
you don't just get every single dollar back that you would have made off of that. That's not how insurance works.
Here's something that I thought was cool. It was something that people try to use against the rioters, which condemn them, all that stuff. But what I thought was awesome about it.
Yeah, should we come out now and say that we're an anti-looting show?
I think that's ridiculous to even have to say that.
I was joking. Because we always say we're anti any crime show. Basically.
Yeah, like every time somebody brings it up, I'm like, it's ridiculous.
We're an
Of course,
hitting women show.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, I don't want bad things happening to people. Like I don't want anybody affected. But
we're an anti-police brutality
show. This
show.
guy was like, I put my whole savings into this business. It was very moving. And then what people did was he set up a GoFundMe and got $500,000 in there. I hope that restaurant becomes even better than what it was, or run off with the bag, whatever floats your boat. But if I always tell people when they bring that up, I was like, if you really are, you feel so strongly about it, and rightfully so, and you're worried about cause and effect, and you're worried about the effect. Let's look up this business. Let's see if they have a GoFundMe, and let's donate to it. Like donate $10 to it. If enough people do that, then you'd be amazed.
Yeah, I think people's point is they shouldn't have to do that.
Without a doubt, that is the point. The point is it shouldn't have happened.
Right.
That's also the point that somebody could bring to it.
Oh yeah, no,
it wouldn't have happened.
That's how we started the show off. Both are bad.
So both are bad. But I'm just like, if you're really concerned, treat it like you treat your OnlyFans. Like take some of that OnlyFans money that you spend on.
Hey, they need it too, bro.
Just saying, like right now ain't the time for shaking ass. Like we could
what
put the
through a
kibosh.
quarantine? This is
what I'm saying.
That's all some of us have had.
We can pause for
it's the only ass I've had in a couple months.
We can pause for a week and give this $10 to somebody else. Now,
is it $10 a week?
No, it's $10. It's anywhere from $5 to $15 a month.
However, as a lady, you feel like you're worth. It's the free market. It's true.
Men can do it too.
Oh,
it's equal.
I didn't even know.
That's what Facebook made me want to create. Since I'm being banned for being
just
sexy.
Pictures of you smoking a cigar with shorts,
gray
on.
Sweatpants, and gray shorts. Just pictures.
Inside joke, people.
Hey, Dom makes a point that I thought about this weekend. Everybody and a lot of people have made. If 3 weeks from now the COVID hasn't spread rampantly,
then this was all.
Then we should just let everybody go to games, right?
Yeah, that might be what this is all about.
Herd immunity.
Or just show that nobody
think that
gets
this was
it.
like a big thing from this is a big conspiracy from Adam Silver to get this started.
Where's
like,
Dr. Fauci fans? Has anybody seen Dr. Fauci?
Oh,
Dr. Fauci seen them fires and he was like, I'm out of here, dog. I ain't got no bunker to go to.
Trump's certainly not letting Fauci in the bunker.
Don't nobody care about me.
Absolutely not. I didn't even think about Fauci. That's good, though.
Baseball has made a proposal to the players union. That is hysterical to me, man.
The owners have made one, yes.
Right. Baseball to the players union. Because the owners are baseball right now, essentially. 50 games. And we'll prorate your salary. So the players, the issue was the players said, okay, players said, we want a prorated salary. So how many ever games we play, we want to be paid fully for those games. And they came back with something like 114 games or 112 games, something like that.
140?
No, it wasn't that many.
Yes, it was.
Well, that's just silly.
Yeah. It's give and take.
And the players answered them with I will do 50. But we'll give you the money you wanted. Like
150? No, 50.
No, 50. 50.
Oh, 114. You're right. Sorry about that.
That is like the funniest thing that I've heard in sports in a while. And before you go, well, football only plays 17 games. Do you know how many pitchers are on a team? Like, you're literally talking about running your starting pitcher
10
out.
starts.
Yeah.
10 starts at the max per starter.
Right.
And the way the owners were being like, hey, this is good, is by saying, hey, we're going to prorate your contracts. Remember, like we said in March we were going to do? We're totally going to do that, guys, but only for 50 games. Okay. And we have about till the end of this week for them to get things figured out until the schedule just would get too late. And this is the thing. Rick was talking about it earlier. So if they start when they're saying they're going to start and only have 50 games, that's like a 90-day window. Why are you only playing 50 games in 90 days? That's not how baseball works. You play every single day, sometimes twice a day. The owners really don't want a season, man.
I think it's the start of a negotiation. I think they'll end up at like 75 games prorated. I think we'll have baseball.
That'd be nice.
It's crunch time.
The owners are always going to win the negotiation. The quicker people realize that, including the players' unions, the better off they're going to be. It's like the NFL. If you think about, they were so hard pressed on, we want a percentage of revenue to be the cap. Well, that's going to come back to bite them next year.
The cap goes down
because revenue is going to go down $3 or $4 billion. So your 49 or 48% or whatever it is, there went 1.5 or $2 billion. The owners are going to have their butts covered regardless of how they come out of this contract.
Yeah, these are billionaires.
Yep.
I kind of agree. I don't think the owners are going to put down the salary. I get what they're saying. They'll make some kind of provision because that's going to end up hurting them because you're going to have to cut some really, really good players.
It's certainly going to, in the
It's
short
CBA,
term,
though.
it's going to hurt the players more. In the long term, how could it not hurt the owners more when you know what's going to happen to the game? Like, it's already on the fringes.
Oh, you're talking about
of
baseball.
American
You're talking about football.
sport.
I was talking
Oh,
about
my bad.
football. Baseball, yes, it definitely.
Baseball's got to play.
Baseball,
Whatever they
They're
got to do.
tripping, man.
Try not to play. I actually got more understanding of how passionate people used to be about baseball. Listening to Lauren talk about Hayes. I didn't realize Hayes was an Atlanta Braves fan. Growing up.
Hayes Carline?
Yeah, but then when
He hates baseball. I
but
thought.
when the lockout happened, he loved it before the lockout.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden he didn't even care anymore. And I was like, wow.
Well, it's no different than anything else. Something goes away and you realize
You forget about it. You
I
don't
can
need
do without it.
You fill in something else.
Right. And that's baseball's issue right now. It's like, you got a chance to be the only game in town. Well, that chance is gone, actually. When's the NBA starting?
It might not be gone because the NBA is not starting until July 31st.
Jeez.
Why?
What are these people doing?
Put it like this: we're in June. We're June 1st, right? And I'm shocked we haven't played any Bone. First of all, it's an iconic song, but so that means they're gonna keep pushing this. If we get into July, and you got to run up into basketball, playoff basketball at that, playoff hockey, and then if you have to go any further than that, you're gonna run into college. Ain't nobody watching you.
Oh, dude, college is 4 weeks after that.
No, what I'm saying is nobody.
No, that's what nobody's watching.
Nobody cares about baseball at that
Well,
point.
baseball already runs in the football season.
Yes, but it's never
it's their
run into
playoffs.
hockey
And
playoffs
basketball
and NBA playoffs.
during like a Tuesday night. Yeah.
like
I got
and Monday Night Raw and Thursday Night SmackDown and whatever AEW. Like it's just too much. It's too much.
It really is.
I think people are way underestimating how a lot of people, JJ, you're not one of these people. I know that. Don't yell at me. How a lot of people have realized that they can make it without sports. They don't need something on every single night. Like baseball is screwing this whole thing up royally.
I just think baseball is like people are also starved for something other than Will and Grace.
If an
And
NBA
Friends
game came on right now, it would have buku ratings.
Like right now, I really want to see the ratings of this Monday Night Football rebroadcast, even though we know what's going to happen with San Francisco and the Seahawks.
They haven't been great.
They have been terrible.
Yeah.
Ratings have
a lot of these replays and stuff have been absolutely
Even the finals,
catastrophic.
even
all
the
of
final,
them.
everything.
The best
The Jordan Doc.
sports thing was that, and of course last week, which dude, I tweeted this last night. Remember a week ago when we were all tweeting about Tiger and Brady playing golf? Like that was a week ago. But that got crazy ratings. That got like 6.5 million people on cable, which never happens for golf.
So I mean, there's people.
If there was games,
Why
people-
haven't
I'd
they
watch
capitalized on that and done one of those every weekend?
I know.
Like, how stupid
They
is
could have
that?
done it the next day again. Like it's just 4 guys on a golf course.
I mean,
They
go
could've-
get
what is it? The
go get Jordan and
U.S. versus Britain. What is that game called?
Ryder Cup.
They could have just done a Ryder Cup.
The
type
thing
thing.
about that is because the PGA Tour is actually coming back in like a week. But the thing about that is in golf, they're all from all these different countries. And with the travel bans
Hey, come
from
down here in
everywhere,
Florida and you can get 2 touring
they can't
pros that
get
are
here, is
popular.
what I'm saying. A lot of these major guys
No,
can't
what
get
I'm
to the
saying is
country.
in the state of Florida, half of the PGA Tour lives
already
here.
here. They're already here.
And then half of the retired celebrities live here. Jordan lives here.
He would never do that.
I don't know.
It might hurt his image.
Who would you want to see Jordan
If he sucked
play?
at golf, bro, he would never.
Because it's
be
not
able to
about the
live
golfers at that point. Who would you want to see play against Jordan? Isaiah Thomas? That'd be awesome.
LeBron.
No way. I don't
Yeah,
want to see.
I
I
don't
don't want to see
LeBron.
him. I don't want to see him go out like that, man. I don't want that
I would
to
want
be
to
the
see
end.
Jordan versus. I don't know.
You know, I can tell you.
I don't know.
I can tell you. I
Oh,
want to
Chuck Barkley.
Barkley's terrible. I would want to see Jordan against some like Las Vegas high stakes gambler.
In poker?
No,
No,
in golf.
In golf.
Just to see how much money gets put on the course.
What does he like to say? Whatever makes you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
I
Right.
Like that.
That is bad.
I like that. Was such a great quote. I'm
It
sorry.
like scared me a little bit. I was like, oh my god.
It would have made,
I had to check my bank account on my phone to make sure all my funds were still there.
it made me want to make more money so
Oh.
that I could do that to people. I don't think I'll ever have enough money to do that to people, but that would be awesome.
All right, let's take our final
Let's.
break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the Monday night edition of the Sports Den on the other side.
Hear everything you need to know about Duval's home team every day
Running some zone option stuff, and then he made a big play on the dagger.
on the home of the Jaguars. 1010XL.
Though we're apart these days, we're sharing more. So at Geico, we'd like to say thanks. Thanks for sharing your savage dance moves. Thanks for sharing your DIY haircut fails. Thanks for sharing your inner lip sync star. Now it's our turn to share with the Geico Give Back, a 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. Because we're committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy term. Visit geico.com/giveback for more info and eligibility.
Brakes for less is what we do. We know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. If there's a squeal in your wheel, come see the best. 733 Stop.
Brakes for less.
All we do.
Our brakes for less.
Mark Watson here, owner of Hardball Creative. These last few weeks have been nuts, but as Jacksonville starts to open back up, make sure your company is ready. From employee appreciation gifts to printed tents for curbside pickup to face masks with your company logo on them, remember Hardball does it all. Call us today at 9988778 or online at hardballcreative.com.
This is Hacker. Join me for the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Wednesday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gator Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
It's been a challenging year, and exceptional people have risen to the occasion. Now's the time to recognize them. Know someone who's making an impact in our community? Nominate them to be this year's TIAA Bank Community Champion. Each winning nominee will receive a $1,000 donation towards their cause and will share their story with the world. Visit TIAABank.com/community champion for details, terms, and conditions. The deadline to nominate is June 26th. Visit TIAABank.com/community champion.
McKeever Clinic is home to the first advanced prostate cancer center in Jacksonville. This is Dr. West, urologist at McKeever Clinic. Our clinic is staffed with 2 urologists that specialize in advanced prostate cancer care and management. You'll also have a dedicated nurse navigator that will coordinate timing, medications, insurance, and patient assistance. We're conveniently located off AC Skinner Parkway on the south side. Contact our specialist at McKeever at 355-6583 to discuss your treatment options.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. You're listening to the Sports Den on 1010XL.
Wrapping up the Sports Den on a Monday night, brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Make sure you get by an ABC this week, a couple times this week. Reach for the good stuff. You need it. We can't end the show when Jeff calls without putting him on, right? Jeff, what's going on?
I miss baseball every day. I used to write on my calendar W and L for the Rays and the Marlins, and I really hope they come back. I just wanted to let y'all know that. And I would watch it over the NBA playoff and the NHL and stuff. So thanks, man. Have a good night.
All right, Jeffrey.
Oh, of course we're going to watch it over the NHL.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think anybody's
That's
debating
silly.
The NHL. Man, I just hit my knee, and I want to cuss so bad right now.
Do it.
Oh, my gosh, that hurt.
I'll dump it. Say
Why
the worst
is
thing
this
you can think
thing? Why is this thing right here at my knee to start with? Golly, that hurts.
Is there a worse feeling when you hit your shin in the morning on like the bed frame?
Yes, that I'm feeling right now. This damn knee.
No, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Don't minimize my pain.
JJ, don't have kids. Stepping on a Lego. It's one
Oh.
of the worst feelings ever.
Text line. Hey guys, long time listener here, without a doubt, one of the best shows y'all have done this year.
Gee, I could have went anywhere.
Wow.
Long time listener, and I'm never gonna listen again.
Last time listener.
Because he's black.
You didn't tell me you had a black guy on the show.
I thought him and RJ sounded similar. I didn't know James was black. He played fullback. It's not very many of them.
That's
They're
true.
all white. All the great ones.
What's
are
our
white.
new guy's
Damn, I
name?
didn't
Haven't
even
you
think
seen
about that.
Zonka?
What's our new guy's name?
You really are in the.
Oh, the Army
From
guy.
Army.
Oh man, I forgot how to say his last name.
Oh my god!
I
You
didn't-
really
Friend of the
are in the
program.
minority of fullbacks. Hold on.
Somebody on Facebook just told me that's what I get for talking bad about the NHL.
Dog, NHL playoff.
Connor
NHL is dope,
Slomka.
man.
Slomka.
NHL playoffs are dope. I was just kidding, guys.
Slump you. That's what. Oh, the Slonka slump. That's
I'm
what
trying to
when
get-
they lay somebody out.
So
Oh. Remember
last
when we were?
Thursday,
Go ahead.
we had Dobbs. I'm trying to get O'Shaughnessy in this Thursday.
Oh, that might be great.
Yeah, we need to question him why his quarterback isn't around.
Oh, he's not coming in.
He's
never
Did
mind.
we say that? Like,
Jeez,
we don't have to.
JJ,
ask
I
him.
just wanted to have kind of a
I was
Dobbs
just,
type
I was
situation.
making a joke.
We don't
But I
have
was
to
getting
ask
to,
him that.
we need to get Slomka in here the minute feet touch ground in Jacksonville.
I can
Yeah,
work on
I'll
that.
pick him up at the airport.
Yeah, we need to try to get I'd like to do every Thursday night a different guy. It don't have to be a Jags
That
player.
would be a hell of. I might have to get you the camera. That'd be awesome.
Well, they do that.
Fullbacks?
The Jags do that when they pick a guy up and JP does it and he's driving around. But I think we can make it a little bit more
Fullback to
exciting.
fullback?
Yeah,
Look, our stuff with Dobbs.
roll
like-
one up.
Be like training day. Be like training day.
Hey, smoke this, bro.
I didn't know you
I
had
didn't
to
know
get
I
wet.
had to get wet. Why am I feeling like this?
I have no idea what y'all are talking
I said,
about.
come on, Benny.
You gotta watch training.
I have watched Training Day.
Honest.
That was one of the iconic.
You should know that
scenes.
line.
You're smoking PCP.
I mean, I watched it like
Sure.
once
Sure.
or twice. I don't have it memorized. It's not like
Snoop Dogg.
Dog, why
Great character in that movie, by the way. Wheelchair guy.
My father looked at something on Facebook to comment. Right.
Uh-huh.
This is why I don't have a phone.
He's
He's
calling
literally on my Facebook page right now, which is posting me talking, and he's calling my phone right now.
Maybe he doesn't think it's live.
We got to get him on Father's Day. I'm going.
When is Father's Day?
I have no idea, but
Sometime in June.
sometime a couple weeks from now, like whatever. But my mom won't answer. But
June
if he's
21st.
getting on, that is radio gold.
we're bringing Pops in.
That'd be dope.
Dude, yes.
Pops is coming in studio the Friday before Father's Day. That's happening. Hope everybody has a great night. We have the night off tomorrow night.
You do.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
James got to work every day. We'll be back on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. We will talk to you guys then. Have a great evening.